The iPhone 3GS 115.5 by 62.1 by 12.3 millimeters, 135 grams. The iPhone 4 was also 115 millimeters tall, narrower at 58.6 millimeters, much thinner at 9.3 millimeters, slightly heavier but not noticeable at 137 grams. The iPhone, so then from the 5S to the 6, 5S 123.8 millimeters tall, 58.6 millimeters wide, and 7.6 millimeters thick, 112 grams. iPhone 6 was taller and wider, but thinner, 138.1, 67, 6.9 millimeters, and 129 grams. The iPhone 3GS has a curved design. The iPhone 4 changes it to blocky. Then the iPhone 6 changes it back to curved. The iPhone 3GS is made out of plastic on the back. The iPhone 4 changes this to glass. The iPhone 5S had metal in the middle and glass on the top and bottom. The iPhone 6 changes this to fully aluminum on the back. The iPhone 3GS has these stainless steel bezels. The iPhone 4 gets rid of them. They do have the antenna wrap around the side. The iPhone 6 has the glass curving onto the side. The iPhone 3GS has these long volume buttons for the volume rockers. The iPhone 4 has these two individual buttons, circular. The iPhone 6 does have the individual buttons, but they're the same shape as the 3GS. The iPhone 6 also moves the sleep-wake button from the top to the side, which the iPhone 4 moved the SIM tray from the top to the side. The iPhone 6 also has a protruding camera. From the iPhone 3GS to the 4, you get a Retina display. The iPhone 3GS has a display resolution of 320 by 480, and the iPhone 4 has a display resolution of 640 by 960, 4 times the resolution. The iPhone 5S has a 640 by 1136 display. The iPhone 6 has a resolution of 750 by 1334. So a bigger resolution increase in the 4. There is also an increase in contrast ratio from 200 to 1 to 800 to 1 to 1400 to 1. The iPhone 4 has a bigger increase in this too. The iPhone 6 has an increase in screen size, but the iPhone 4 did not have this, so you got more room to do it for a touchscreen, which makes things easier. Wide-angle viewing. If you view this from a different angle, the screen looks a lot bluer. You'll notice here you'll get a slightly darker display, but it's not that bad. Here you don't get any effect. So wide-angle viewing has been improved across the 3GS to the 4, and then again with dual domain pixels with the 6. The iPhone 3GS camera has a resolution of 3 megapixels, 480p. The 4 had a resolution of 5 megapixels, 720p. Later iPhones increased this to 8 megapixels, 1080p, and the iPhone 6 stayed at 8 megapixels, 1080p. The iPhone 4 also introduced a back illuminated sensor and this LED flash. The iPhone 6 introduces focus pixels and doubles the frame rate for both 1080p to 60 frames per second and 720p to 240 frames per second. The processor was a much bigger upgrade from the 4 to the 3GS to the 4 than from the 5S to the 6. although the iPhone 4 had many more pixels to push than the 3GS did. So there wasn't a major speed increase, but there was a much better processor, going from 600 to 800 megahertz, 256 megabytes of RAM to 512 megabytes of RAM. iPhone 6 was slightly faster from 1.3 gigahertz to 1.4 gigahertz, but this isn't very big. The iPhone 4 was a bigger change. The iPhone 4 saw a 33% increase in audio battery lifetime, from 30 to 40 hours. The iPhone 6 only saw a 25% increase, although this is also by 10 hours, from 40 to 50. Video saw no increase in the 4, but saw a 10% increase in the 6. Talk time saw a 40% increase in the 4 and a 40% increase in the 6. Browsing 3G saw a 20% increase on the 4 and a 25% increase on the 6. Wi-Fi browsing saw a 11% increase on the 4 and a 10% increase on the 6. And standby stayed the same on the 4 and stayed the same as from the 3GS to the 4, there is this new problem called antenna gate. Basically, if you hold your phone like this, then it will result in drop calls. But the 6 introduced VoLTE, which makes better quality phone calls. The additional features, the iPhone 4 has FaceTime. FaceTime didn't even exist in the 3GS, but it was introduced in the 4. The iPhone 6 introduces an update to Touch ID as well as Apple Pay, which allows you to use your phone as a credit card. iPhone 4 and 6 are tied in the design, although the iPhone 6 is just basically reusing the same shape as in the iPhone 3GS. The 4 has a slight advantage over it in terms of the display. The 4 has a bigger camera upgrade, a bigger processor upgrade. The battery is the same. It has a cellular downgrade in the 4, whereas it has an upgrade in the 6, but then it is tied in additional features. So the iPhone 4 actually takes down the iPhone 6 as the biggest iPhone upgrade in the history of iPhones. So now we have a new phone, the iPhone 4.